Hi, y'all. Real quick, I want to talk about intentions and about being intentional. When we set intentions at the beginning of practice, I often encourage people to consider how their goal or desire serves them, how it brings them peace, balance, maybe even joy. I also encourage people to consider how their goal or desire can serve the people around them. We'll get into that part at a later date because today I'm all about the purpose of having an intention. Or you could think about it as the purpose of having a purpose. Either way you look at it, we're also going to get into the reasons why I recommend that people pay attention to the underlying forces compelling them. The word intention comes to English from Latin by way of Old French and late Middle English. And it's related to purpose and, wait for it, stretching. Yes, having an intention ultimately means that you are deliberately extending yourself in a certain way and or direction. There's also a definition related to medicine and how one heals a wound. But honestly, when I think of the word intention, how it shows up in English is not my go-to etymology. No, when I'm setting intentions, I think in terms of sankalpas and nidre, both of which can be translated into English as vows. Nidre comes to Hebrew from Aramaic, and I'll break down the significance of that later this year. Today, I'm going to focus on the Sanskrit word sankalpa. I usually explain that sankalpa can be translated into English as will, determination, or vow, as in the highest vow. That last part is due to the fact that in some religious traditions, it's associated with the sacred practice of taking vows. It can also be translated as volition, desire, resolve, resolution, or purpose. Within India, it has additional sacred connotations, but these are the ones that immediately come to my mind. And when you put all the meanings together, a sankalpa is something that drives you into action and keeps you moving in a certain direction. If it's helpful, you can think about it the same way some people think of living a purpose-driven life. Either way, the key here is volition, which is self-propelled power. And I'm using the capital S here to indicate that it is about more than being ego-driven. This is about being compelled to action by a force greater than yourself, whatever that means to you at this moment. In one of the Upanishads, one of the sacred teachings shared with those sitting near devotedly, we are reminded of two ways of thinking. Some believe that what we do and how we act is what we become, and this is related to virtue. Others believe that our desires drive us to work out a way to attain what we desire, and this is related to the ego. Either way you look at it, we need to be mindful of our desires because what is in our hearts eventually makes its way out into the world, and that's how we will be known. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Song of the Lord, when Krishna instructs Arjuna, the prince, on training the mind, he specifically speaks of sankalpa. In chapter or discourse 6, sankalpa is identified as the root of desire and of devotion, or the place from which both desire and devotion spring. The instruction is to renounce all selfish desires, which are but products of the ego, and to practice yoga, meaning union, with determination and an unwavering mind. Bottom line, stay focused. Stay focused on what's important. But how do you stay focused when there's so many distractions, so many shiny baubles, so much noise, so many temptations? You set an intention that is a promise or a vow to yourself. A very clear, concise, active, and positive message from your capital S self to your lowercase s self. It's a reminder that what you will do, of what you are doing. It's a call to action. Whether you repeat it daily or during certain practices and or post it somewhere, it is a constant reminder of what is important to you, where you're going, and why you're going where you're going. It's a commitment. Kind of like the one I'll be keeping every 9 days.